Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very exciting DIY for you. Tell them, Becky.
We made a world map out of corkboard, which is really exciting and fun because you can put pins on it about places you've been, places you want to go, and
photos.
Yeah, exactly. You either use it as a corkboard or even if you don't, it just looks awesome.
Yes, it's very cool. So this was inspired by a world map corkboard that they sell at Anthropology. And we kind of took it and we were like, what, that's amazing, let's see if we can do it. And we had doubt, but it actually turned out amazing and it was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
And a lot of the times we see things that we think are awesome and we want to buy them, but we're like, that is so expensive and I know I can do it for cheaper. So this was one of those times.
All right, so what you are going to need for this DIY is a really thin, like pen-like x-acto knife. You can get these from Michael's. You're going to need cork, obviously, this is really important. So we did a lot of searching. We spent half of our day looking for the right cork.
We really did.
So a lot of cork that you're gonna find is like shelving liner cork, I guess. I don't know why you want to line your shelves with cork. So yeah, the one cork that we found that was really popular is really, really thin and it has an adhesive back. So this will look cool, but your pins aren't really gonna be able to stick in it because they won't be able to go anywhere.
It's not thick enough.
So the one we found, and that took us all day to find, multiple stores, we found this at Lowe's. It's a roll of cork. So it is about 1/8 of an inch. Anything from 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch is gonna be pretty good size cork. So once you have those, all you're gonna need is something to stick it to the wall. And you can either just like hot glue it to a piece of Bristol board, or you can buy wall adhesive little
sticky, two-sided stickers,
yeah,
pretty much.
And you can get these from like Michael's dollar store, anywhere.
Optional, you're gonna want to get a cutting board or something to cut the cork on because you don't want to be making cut marks in like your table or your floor.
Really? This sounds like fun.
I don't know, not my thing. You're also going to need little pins that you can use if you want to put little pins across the world to mark certain places.
Yeah, and we did our own DIY pins and we'll show you that at the end. So to start this off, you're gonna need to decide what you wanna do. So we did a world map, but you can also do a map of your country, you can do a map of your province.
Or state.
Or state, yeah.
Or territory.
Or territory. Being very political here.
Well.
Yeah, so you just need to figure out what map you wanna do. And on our blog, you're gonna find the map that we used. We actually took the world map and we kind of condensed it,
rearranged it all.
Yeah, so it was just easier to put out on a sheet and we weren't wasting so much space like where the oceans were and stuff.
We did this so that we could print it like with each continent being as big as possible, so we would use most of the cork, right?
Alright, so to make your map giant and large, we use this website called blockposters.com. If you know a better way to do this, then just go ahead and do it, but we use this website. So what you're first going to do is choose the image you would like to upload. So you can either use a plain map of the world, or you can use our kind of condensed version. We just kind of put all the countries together so that we weren't wasting so much space on the cork. So you're just going to upload your file. So once it uploads, you're going to be able to see your photo there, and you kind of can see how it's divided up via pieces of paper, and you can choose whether you want your pieces of paper to go landscape or portrait. And then it also tells you at the bottom how big it will be. So, you know, if you know that your cork is 1 meter or 3 feet, then it says it'll be how big. You can kind of like match up the size of the amount of cork that you have. So we decided that 4 pages wide by 2 is good for us. And then you press next and download your PDF file. And then you can just check it out, make sure it looks pretty good. And then you're just gonna print it out from there.
So now that you have your map on top of your cork all pinned down, you're ready to go.
Cutting board underneath.
Yes, be careful. Really, all you have to do now, all we have to say is you just cut the outline of the world.
Or your state.
Or whatever
your province or your country. Yeah.
Sounds really daunting, but really don't try and be too precise with it because I was worried that we were being too like slack in general with it.
And I think ours looks a little too detailed.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it was more just like basic.
And when you take the paper off when you're done, like it looks like you tried harder than you did.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that, but
and it did take us a while to do it this way. We did do a lot of detail. We did a lot of islands. just because these are places we want to go. What I did is you just kind of like start popping it out pretty simply.
Just hold down the edges when you're doing a really small part.
Yeah, and then we would kind of use the edge of our X-acto knife if we had a really small like piece of land that went like that. We kind of put our X-acto knife over top of it and then kind of push and pull in an opposite direction. So yeah, just like use your fingers to kind of maneuver out all the small areas. It's not that hard.
Yeah, just be gentle. You should be fine. So we took our time, and overall it took us about 3 hours to cut out the entire world. So if you're doing a country or a state only, it's going to take you a lot less time.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot basic. Even if you're doing it the same size, it's just like probably going to be a lot easier. Imagine if it was top of the United States, it would just be like... And as you cut out your countries, we kind of started laying them out on a piece of brown paper, or if you just have another table, you can start kind of placing them as you cut them out, just so that you don't forget, because the islands all start to look the same if you've never like been there, you don't know your geography too well. That's another thing, you're gonna learn so much. I learned so much. Becky's like, yo, just put Papua New Guinea over here, and I'm like, which one's
what is that?
As you cut them out, just start placing them kind of where you know the world goes, and just look up a map for reference. It's no problem. Because
the map that we gave you, if you're using the one we gave you, is not in order when you print it out.
Don't put the world together that way.
No. So you're gonna want to look at a map and lay it out kind of how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So once you have them all cut out, yay, congratulations. So now you're just gonna take your sticky wall pieces, and you could find little individual like dot kind of wall pieces, or if you just have some roll of double-sided wall-safe tape, you can just start cutting pieces out from that. We have this kind of, they're little like pieces of foam that are double-sided and they're wall-safe, and they're by Scotch. So we started putting those on. If there was a smaller area, we just kind of cut it up and then put small pieces on. Pretty simple. So once that's done, you are going to pull up your reference map, and this helps to have another person with you.
Someone who can stand back and say, a little bit to the left,
a little to the right, a little higher, a little lower. Oh my god, not so high, not so low.
I didn't do that. We did Europe/Asia first, just because that's the biggest one, and you can kind of place everything relative to that.
Relative. Yeah, so start with the bigger land masses, then work your way to the smaller ones, and then you're done. And then to make the little pins, so like we said, you can either just stick kind of like color-coded pins, like, oh, red means I've been there, blue means I want to go there. Or you can do our DIY flag.
They're really cute.
Yeah, I like them better, and they kind of, you get to write the name on it so that you remember what the place is. So for this, you can use washi tape, I think, is that how you call it?
I think so.
All right, washi tape, or we took scrapbooking paper and then just cut up little strips of like one of your favorite patterns that's not too busy because you're writing words on top, obviously. So we cut out little strips, and then we took old pins. You can either use metal pins like this, or if you don't have any, which we didn't, we had a whole bunch of assorted ones, we took some wire cutters and we just snipped off the ball part because we didn't want it. And then we simply took some hot glue, or you can just use regular glue, and folded our
strip of paper around it, so it becomes a double-sided like flag.
Yeah, and we cut out
we made a little V in the end, so it looks like a little flag.
And then you can just use a Sharpie and write the city on it, or the country.
And we did like a color-coded system. I think you might have mentioned this earlier. We did like one color meant I've been here, one color means I want to go here. Totally up to you. We think it's awesome.
Yeah, you can also do, if you've lived there, if you've lived in a lot of places, that'd be awesome. Like a color for living there, a color for wanting to go there, and then a color for visiting. So all in all, we think this is such an amazing summer DIY, and it's great if you do travel, or if you really aspire to travel. It's kind of like a dream board.
And the plus is that it is cork, so like if you have photos from places you've traveled, add them to the map. It's perfect.
Yeah, little mini photos. That'd be so cute. We hope you guys enjoyed this DIY and you're as excited about it as we are, and we hope you try it. And if you do,
please let us know.
Photos, all the photos.
Send it to our Twitters or Instagrams or Facebooks. All will be linked below.
If you like it,
make sure you like the video, so that lets us know that we're doing stuff that you guys like, so we can do more of it.
Yeah.
We will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.